we see his corpse or bones, we're still going to hold on to hope, and we're still going to have pressure on Mugabe and his minions over what they did to Itai. We know that this was done by ZANU-PF through security agencies, state security agencies, particularly the military intelligence.
So to what extent has Itai's political act and the violent reprisal to that act, how has it made an impact on Zimbabwe's political climate?
Itai Dzamara stood up in 2014 and in solitude at times, he confronted Mugabe. In solitude at times, he confronted the policies of Mugabe, which he felt were not going to take the country forward. Now, that was the beginning of a new dispensation. So many people did not understand him then. So many people did not understand the ramifications or the projection of whatever Itai was doing then. But now we understand, because everyone is speaking the same things Itai spoke in 2014, but they did not get it then.
How do you feel about the difference in responses to Itai's protest? It was a one-man campaign, and then the response that Pastor Mawadi has gotten.
If we were to look at this in isolated clusters, then we're going to miss the point. So, Itai got onto the scene. So many people did not understand, because the culture in Zimbabwe, the culture in Africa, is opposition political parties are the ones who pile pressure on the government. But in this particular case, there was a citizen who put his life on the line just to make sure that at least the government is accountable and pressure on the government is maintained, right? Now, like I said, at that point, so many people did not understand what Itai was up to. So many people thought that he had lost his mind, okay? Now, we realized that after Itai's abduction, I also was forced to fight. On the 18th of April, 2016, this year, I demonstrated in front of Mugabe at the National Sports Stadium. And on that particular night, coincidentally, that is the day Pastor Mawadi did his first display video. So it's a culmination. We now have Tajamuga, we now have a lot of these other movements. So let's not look at it in isolated patches or clusters. It's a process and a culmination.
This flag is largely online. These are people, mostly the youth, on Twitter and Facebook, on WhatsApp, sharing this information, coming together at Rotten Row. So do you think there are some class differences here at play?
We are not going to decapitate the monster called Robert Mugabe and his ZANU-PF by only focusing on one dimension or tangent, okay? There are so many tangents and dimensions. There's the online dimension. There is the offline dimension. All those dimensions are critical. And I've always stated that there's got to be a commensurate process. While online activities and processes are going on, offline activities and processes must also go on. I'm a part of this flag. I'm a part of Tajamuga. I'm a part of whoever is doing something that is meant or earmarked to retrieve Zimbabwe out of this pit of failure. I am a part of that.
The things that have been happening, the violent reprisals against citizen-led protest and dissent. What do you think the South African government has done well or has not done at all?
It's not about South Africa, it's not about Ian Kama, it's not about the UN. They can only do what they can. But the job and the responsibility to see to it that Zimbabwe is actually up and running again is ours. ZANU-PF is a monster. For 36 years, they've been looting and they've been developing their system. It's not a joke. It's not going to be a straw in the pack defeating ZANU-PF. Okay? And so Zimbabweans certainly have got to graduate from this level where they romance trivialities and they begin to focus on the mainstay. What is the bigger picture? What is it that we actually need? We need Mugabe out of our way. Simple. That is what we are looking at. And so it's not too late. This is the time. I'm advocating for a coalition. Who will lead? We don't care. If they don't find a leader, let them rotate. What we want is Mugabe to go. As far as Itai is concerned, I think we owe him. We owe Itai. He did all that for a better and new Zimbabwe. And so, in our lifetime, we must see to it that at least we welcome that better and new Zimbabwe. That is our payment. We owe him that. It's critical for us to understand that we've come to a watershed moment. It's now or never. Okay? Unfortunately, if we are not careful, we are going to miss the moment.